All right. All right. The power just went out, y'all. Hold on one second. We're going to get back going on the good foot. The power went out. Let's go ahead and share this one more time. At highlights. Hashtag. At highlights at followers. Let's do that. All right, let's try to get some people back in here. 1 2 1 2. All right. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. We're gonna wait a minute and let the people get back in here. Let's do some more sharing. Let's share it one more time. Let's go ahead and share it. What's up, people? We back. We had the power that went out. The power, but we back. We got the power, baby. We about to open up the phone lines in a minute. The power went out. I couldn't do nothing about it. You know, my streams be 100. It don't fail. But Mother Nature, you know, God, we can't battle. Arms too short to box with him, you know. So, but at the end of the day, we got the power back on, and we back. And tonight, first off, we're gonna talk about some Pontiac business. Let's go ahead and pull up the. Hey, what's up, Mel? We in the place to be. You might have to call in. I'm gonna open up the phone lines. My power just went out, but it came back on. You know what I mean? My arms too short to box with God, but they came back on. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna open up the phone lines. Maybe you could call in. This, what I was saying before the lights went out, on the 25th June, which is next week, at ATAP, there will be the Pontiac mayoral debate. And I would like to invite you all to come out. And I'm going to turn on the phone because I think my girl Melly Mel's going to come on in real quick. Let me go ahead and put the phone line up for you. Boom. Melanie Rutherford. Call if you like. 248-905-1128. I'm going to turn the music down and get it ready for you. Let me make sure that, yeah, okay, because the power went out. I'll make sure that the phone is working now. Let's go ahead and turn on the phone now. So if you call in, we should. Hold on, what? Don't. Yeah, we. Hold on, we good. Let me make sure that the internet. There we go. Hold on 1 second here. Got to make sure. All right, can you hear me? 1 2. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right, we good to go.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I hear you when the people hear you. What's going on with you, lady?
What? Oh, man, just being blessed and highly favored, working hard, as you see. I'm so excited for just the things that's coming up, coming forward, pushing forward in this campaign, keeping it positive, keeping it moving, you know?
Absolutely. For people that don't know, right now we got Councilwoman District 1, Miss Melanie Rutherford, and she's always heavy and steady at work, you know what I mean? I know her personally, and she be on the grind, doing what she be doing what she got to do for the people. I can say that. So, just wanted to let the people know who was on here. So, tell us about what's on the agenda. I know you been out campaigning and getting it out, getting the word out.
Oh, man, I just got a blessing today. I just put up a post about just being gratitude, right? Mm-hmm. Because in this season, we can find everything in the world to complain about, but we need to be grateful for the small things. So, as I was putting out signs today in District 1 on the South Side, I got a phone call, and they was like, I need you to come over there. And, you know, I show up for everybody. You know how I am, Asante. You've been knowing me my whole life. And when I went over there, I just thought it was going to be me having a conversation about my campaign. Mm-hmm. And she was like, you know, I've been trying to send this to you, but I want to give it to you in your hand. And one of my constituents gave me a money order for $500 for my campaign.
Oh, wow.
And in these trying times, to have somebody sacrifice and say, I believe in you so much, I'm going to put my money behind you, it means such a great deal. And it's so personal for me because this campaign is for the people, you know?
Right.
And I just talking about just being grateful and in that moment. And then not just that, just the love and support that I've gotten through the things that I've had to face. Is just truly grateful. I'm just grateful that God still has me on this playing field to do the job. I'm grateful. I'm so proud also that I can say I just graduated from anger management.
Okay.
And I'm so excited. I'm proud of myself because a lot of us don't know that our anger and bitterness and dysfunction can self-sabotage what God planned is for our life. And the hardest thing is to recognize something and to do something about it. And it's an ongoing journey. A lot of us don't know that trauma affects us in so many ways. And I just thank God for having the inner circle that I have who said, I love you so much, Mill. I want to send you to get what you need, and me continuing to do it and knowing that it's okay to say you're not okay. And knowing that even when you make a mistake, God has the final say. So I'm just in a place of gratitude and just working every day to be the best version of myself. And I just want to be an example so that everyone in my community can say, hey, we fall down, but we get back up. And it's not about playing the God card. It's about being real about where you are in your walk. And so that's where I'm at.
Hey, that's a good place to be at. Good place to be at. And what you said, the anger management, you know what I'm saying? That's a real thing, you know, because being able to control that and being out of how to control that and a way to be able to get past whatever issues may be that anger causes, you know what I mean? That's a great big old thing to, you know, manage. So I'm proud of you with that. But you're doing great.
I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
I'm trying, but I just want to tell, God sometimes uses his biggest people to be examples. And I just want everybody to just look at my life and look at what God has done for me. And I can say that, and I'm not just, I shouldn't be here. And I said when I turned 46, I was going to live loud and proud and just be grateful for what I've came through. And I think we are in a time where we don't know how to just say thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Or I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Or can you help me? Or I don't know how to do this by myself. I had a girlfriend today, LaKayla. I was having a moment, and she checked me about my behavior. And I always say, if somebody can't check you about your behavior, they don't love you. And even though I was angry with her, she was right. And that's the difference between just growth and just walking in your purpose and living loud and proud. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like I
where
said,
I'm at.
hey, but you know what? That's a good thing. But you know what? We offer that, and we on to the other things. What's going on new with your campaign? What's coming on? Ain't dispelling the anger thing. Now that's real. But what's going on? But what's going on with the campaign?
So what's going on? First of all, let me just tell you, we have been rocking and rocking out. We just had an amazing, and it wasn't a campaign event, it was a District 1 event celebrating the men in the community. It was called Our Fathers Are Superheroes. I think it's so important that we celebrate our men in this community. The next event that I'm doing is July 19th. Oh, no, June the 28th. I have a District 1 meeting from 3 to 5, which is going to be at Sunset Boulevard. As far as the campaign, you'll see me out walking, talking, being at every event, but also we're doing a District 1 event where we're doing a District 1 open house for students who graduated from District 1. So many students don't have open houses, and I just want to celebrate all the graduates who are graduating from college or going to a trade school. And then in August, we're having the block party. September, we're having a real conversation with Mel. I have so many other things to plan, but most importantly, being present and doing door knocking and just being open to having conversations and just winning this race, because it's always been about the people and me delivering. Oh, in August, I forgot, June the 27th, we are having a ribbon cutting event at Art Dunlap. If you remember in my campaign, I said I was going to get Art Dunlap repaired and done, and I have kept another promises made.
I will be there. I will be there.
Yes, I know, right? Aren't you excited? Art Dunlap is finally getting done.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm just excited. I'm excited to be the councilwoman for District 1, and we're going to do the best we can. And I made a campaign pledge that I would not go negative. I've seen the effects of people going negative on me, and I'm going to keep that thing. I have older people who look up to me. I have younger people that look up to me, and I have a responsibility. So it is my hope that we keep it colorful, but be respectful. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, absolutely. Hey, let me ask you a quick question before you leave, because I was going, I was coming on tonight, and if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to. But I know.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, cool. So I know. I think coming up on for a vote or decision with the council is the old Pontiac. Well, not the old, but the Pontiac Central building what Lee Industries has right now. I'm for it. You know what I mean? I think that'd be a great thing for the city to acquire. Back, you know what I mean, into the possession of this, and do some things with that. I don't know, probably move some facilities or some departments. I don't know exactly how that, what's in the works with that, all 100%. But I'm thinking it's a good thing because it's a lovely building. It's a, Lee Industries have kept it up. They have been good stewards of that building.
Yeah.
What is your idea and thoughts on that?
So number one, I am for voting for the building, and I want to explain to you why very quickly. We do not have a DPW department, meaning a permanent building where we keep our trucks, where we keep our tools, where we keep the salt for the winter, and we're paying and leasing at an astronomical rate, and we simply can't afford it. This issue has been kicked down the can for about 12 years. We haven't had a DPW facility since there was an emergency management. But we're in a season where we have to move forward and we have to be visionaries. Most cities have a multi-complex place where everything is all in one. You have the courts, you have jail, you have the DPW, you have city hall, all in one multiplex building. And so this is the opportunity for us as a city to look around and see how can we be cost effective and save taxpayers dollars and make everything a one-stop shop. And so those are my reasons why I will be supporting this. I'm hoping that the people see the vision, because this is what happens really quickly in Pontiac. Mm-hmm. So many people will use fear and say, "Oh, you're trying to get rid of us. Oh, you don't want us in Pontiac." I'm from here, born here. I own a house here. I work here. I worship here. And so I'm not going to make any decision that does not benefit the people of Pontiac. But I'm also not going to be a fear monger and say, well, if we don't do this, we'll never grow. Because this is the issue. We have to get past the fear of being replaced and learn how to see the bigger picture and to be at the table. And that's why I'm voting for it on Monday. And there's a lot of other serious issues, but that's one of the votes that I will be voting in support of, because I think everything needs to be a one-stop shop. And it's not fair that you got to go this place for one thing, and you got to go this place for another thing. We can have everything all in one building. So I'm excited about Tuesday.
Good, yeah.
And Saturday. You know that there's a forum on Saturday, if you didn't know.
I didn't.
Yes, there's actually a forum that's going to be at the American Legion. And I will be there talking about my platform, talking about how I'm going to continue to move the city forward. I'm sure you saw the Phoenix Center.
Oh, yeah.
And how it's been torn down. I'm so proud to be one of the people, the conduits, to bring that in this work. And so we're just going to keep it rocking. And I'm just excited. I'm excited about everything that's happening in Pontiac. Pontiac is moving forward. I believe that we are in a great place. I always tell people, don't believe me, go do your own research. Because people will always be negative Nancy's, or you can be a positive Paula. And so I just decided to be a positive Paula. I also have one more thing to talk about. Miss Pamela Alexander. I don't know if you heard who that is.
Yeah, I know who she
opened
is.
Up an amazing, she opened up an amazing space called The Legacy in District 1. And when I say this place is beautiful and everybody should go check it out and have events there, you truly do. I've known Miss Pam most of my life. It's a wonderful opportunity for us as a people to have a gathering spot. I, along with Milana Jones, Councilwoman Jones, will be having a forum for women to be speaking at in the coming months. So the legacy, that's just another thing that we're doing right. We're giving small businesses money so that they can be able to be fruitful and successful. Mm-hmm. So, I'm excited about Tuesday. I have the honor of singing at the late, great Councilman Everett C's funeral. I'll be singing there Friday. Okay. I count it as an honor and a privilege. And I just keep being the conduit of change, and that's where I'm at.
Hey, that I love to hear that. That's where you are right now. You know what I mean? And all I can tell you is just keep rolling forward. You know what I mean? Keep going. we got to have, or me and you got to set up a session. You can come in virtual, or we can go up to the spot, like you say, and then
I want to do it in person.
we can do it in person. You can field questions. People could call in. You know what I mean? And
I don't even want to field the questions, because let me tell you why.
Why not?
You can't feel hate. You can't. If I run from it, they gonna say I'm running. If you know me, I don't back down from nothing. So I am ready to have the conversations that people want to have. I just also know that I want to have a conversation that's based on facts and not emotions.
Right. I feel you on that. Miss Pamela Alexander is chiming in. I told her I got to give her a call because I was supposed to be there, but I wasn't able to. So please don't beat me up, Pamela.
Yeah, we mad at you about that.
Hey, you know what I mean? Get in line. I got a couple people mad at me that used to love me, but it's all good.
But I'm going to tell you something, Asante. I want to say this, and I want to get off the phone.
Yeah.
I'm so honored to call you a friend. I love what you're doing in Pontiac, and what you're doing for everyone, and how you are creating a safe space to have candid conversations built on facts and not emotions. Because anybody can be emotional, but when you use facts based with emotions, man, it's a game changer. So I thank you for the opportunity to always talk. Mm-hmm. And always be able an ear to listen, and continue to pray for me, and I'll pray for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Good night, everybody. I'm gonna go on about my business because I got my hair wet. I got to wrap it for work tomorrow because I still got to go to work.
Look at Sugar Shop. All right, then, sweetie. Bye bye.
I love you, man.
I love you too.
You have a good one.
One love, peace.
All right, bye bye. All right, bye.
All right, that was Melanie Rutherford, District 1 councilwoman. Yeah, just chimed in. Like I say, man, and that's what it's all about. Thank you, Pam. That's what Pontiac WYAC is all about. And, hey, look, this is what we're all about. I'm so glad to be kind of getting back on air again, because so far along I was off. But I'm here just to be able to, be a sounding board, more or less, open up the lines. People could go ahead and feel and talk how they want to talk, give their opinions, and be positive. I mean, and some things we talk about might not be as positive, but it ain't got to mean you got to beat somebody down just to get your point across. You know what I mean? So that's what Pontiac WYAC is all about. When it comes to the building of the Pontiac Central, I seen that on Brett Barker page. Actually, that's what I was looking at earlier, and I saw the post off of Brett's page about Pontiac, but I saw that it came up in discussion about the old Pontiac Central. Well, I don't want to keep saying the old Pontiac Central because Lee Industries really kept that building up. I mean, I flew the drone. What's up, brother? Hey, I got to give a shout out to my man E Hathaway, dog. I haven't seen E in a long time. Thanks, Brett. Brett, I'm gonna put the number back up and call in, please, if if you got any comments or whatever about the Pontiac Central building. I want to give a shout out to E-Dub. I haven't seen E in a long time. E been a source of encouragement for me. He'll hit me up, or he will text me, or he'll always drop a line and just encourage me. But I was able to see him downtown at the Juneteenth event this last weekend. I went down there just to hang. I was dolo. I rode dolo from state to state. You know what I'm saying? But I was down there dolo. I seen my man E. Well, I seen a couple people that I was tight with, but I seen my man Stanley Tatamy, or T. Kicked it with him for a quick second. It's really only 3 people I really spoke to. I was there for like an hour and a half. I spoke to T for a minute. I chopped it up with Dollar for a real quick second. And then on my way out, I was leaving. I said, well, old man, time to go home. You know what I'm saying? And I seen E-Dub, and that capped my night off. I was like, oh, bet I can go to the crib and chill. I think E was just chilling with, some of the chillings or whatever. But it was good to see him looking good and everything like that. Everybody I saw this weekend looked great. I'm glad everybody had a great time. Want to give a big shout out to the city of Pontiac. Also Phil Brown, that I'm working with a lot of stuff downtown. Far as helping, doing some things with him on the filming part of Pontiac. So yeah, Robin C is absolutely, amazing, throwing on great events downtown. Like she's a workhorse. She Robin C, she's putting on like these summer events. Y'all got to go check out, Music in the Park, which is coming up. I'm going to have all of this stuff put up, y'all. All of this stuff put up. I want to say so much, though. I just want to say thanks for all the love because, I just really love it. I really, really love it. I'm going to put the phone number back up. Anybody would like to call, please give their opinions or their facts. So, facts of the matter of what? Just 248-905-1128. But I think, honestly, the Pontiac Central building, if I know it, like Miss Melanie Rutherford, District 1 Councilwoman, said, it's coming up for vote, which I didn't know. I'm not that abrupt sometimes, but it's coming up for vote. I think it's I'm honestly think it's a great thing that if we can get this going. I would love, Pam said, I'm killing the game. Next level. Pam, I want to say I'm sorry. I'm going to publicly apologize, Pam. Pam, I'm sorry. I didn't get, and I don't want you to feel no type of slight, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I got caught up downtown. I got caught up with, and next thing you know, I'm like, oh, I'm in the middle. I'm so sorry. I apologize that I didn't get with you like I was supposed to. So Pam, forgive me. I am sorry. But it just, things ramped up so quick. A couple times I have double booked some things. You know what I'm saying? So please forgive me about that. Yeah. Okay, but I know you're probably not into feelings, but it was only the right thing to do, right? When you're wrong, you're wrong. And I'm noticing to be more, about that. If I was wrong about something and I, forgive me, you know what I mean? But downtown did Pan, yeah, but downtown Robin did a great and an awesome job. The whole team of the city of Pontiac, in my opinion, did an awesome job. They had a nice parade, Juneteenth parade. Looked like the vendors was selling things. I mean, the vendors was making money. I mean, all age groups was looking like they was having a good time, from the small to the early 20s. And we got a phone call. Let's get that. Hold on one second here. Who we got on the line?
This is Brett Barker, a.k.a. Brett Reynolds.
Brett, what's going on? How you doing, Brett?
I don't believe anybody should have their real name on Facebook for any purposes whatsoever. But I'm a real, really enthusiastic about local government and sort of the failings of this past administration and this last minute sort of catch up that they're trying to do. And while I think that the central building should be acquired by the city, I don't think it's the location for a DPW yard.
Okay. What do you say?
I think we should have.
Go ahead.
Yeah, please.
What I was saying, what do you think? What do you think that building should be used for then?
Well, this is the thing, is they just sort of backed into, we need a DPW, here's the space, let's get it. Sort of like what they did with McCarroll School. They first said Wisner was the only place to have Pontiac youth recreation. And then when that wasn't available, they said McCarroll was the only place. And Pontiac Central was sitting there at that time, which would have made a dynamic Pontiac Youth Recreation Center site. It would have been centrally located. It's on 3 bus lines. It has all the bells and whistles, everything that was needed. So I think they need to think about, we need to acquire this building because it's a major piece of property on our western gateway into the city, adjacent to a historic district, surrounded by a real neighborhood with real people living there. And imagine, partially the building could be taken over. Part of it could become a Meyer boutique shopping store or a Whole Foods or like a Detroit food co-op. But it could answer our dearth of grocery stores by subleasing portions of it. It could be used in so many ways, but they need to imagine what the best use is, not just go, a DPW, like we don't need a salt tower on the, so adjacent to downtown Pontiac, Gateway and neighborhoods. We don't need the toxicity that comes through the DPW yard. Now, Collier Road landfill, which we can't get rid of, that already has environmental concerns, is the perfect place to put a DPW yard. It has the road infrastructure. We don't have the infrastructure at Central to handle the trucks.
Mm-hmm.
They have been doing work on State Street. And I think this has been sort of like an underlying plan all along. But like I said, Lee did a great job being a steward of the property. It's a shame he trashed the pool and there's no pool in it anymore. But I don't think this $500,000 investment should be rewarded with a $15 million windfall. I think there's negotiating to do and real thought about what that building becomes.
I hear you. I see where your point is coming from. Are you still there? Are you still there?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought I lost you.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Let me ask you this then. I mean, can it be, in your opinion, can it be more than just say it was the salt, whatever with the trucks, whatever? With that building, because you've been in that building before, I'm pretty sure, right?
I served 2 semesters there. I say serve, I shouldn't say that. I went for 2 semesters.
Come on. Okay. So you've been.
It was the late 70s. It was a great time.
Right. So let me say this, since you've been there and you know how that building is laid out and how huge and massive it is, couldn't it serve just more than one thing? It could be that and other things at the same time.
Exactly.
So
exactly? But that's what they need to think about. Is they need to think about, wow, if you take this portion and have, like, it's been, how many don't have a Starbucks in town? I mean, couldn't somebody go to Starbucks and say, we're going to give you a location, just put your damn store here and bring up local property values, and have a little drive-through Starbucks, have a Whole Food Market or a food co-op, but it should be multi-purpose. I think there's an underlying plan to move City Hall there.
Really?
And again, that's part of this looks a little orchestrated, because now they're saying they're not saying for DPW, for future use. And but the thing is, we've been such bad stewards of our own property. We don't mothball things. We don't take care of them. And I'm afraid that what they're going to do is sort of put the DPW and trash it more, have a big salt, I don't know what you call those silos, where they have salt and gravel and all that, have all that stuff outside. It's not the place. I walk this neighborhood. This is, I'm over at Dakota and like across from the post office. And I walk that, stretch to downtown Pontiac all the time. I'm acutely aware of the environment. And I think it would be degraded more by a DPW facility. That the neighboring houses and stuff will actually go down in value because of putting that kind of heavy, and it's not really heavy industrial, but it might be considered heavy industrial in that space. I just don't think it's the right space for it. And I think they need to this council and this administration railroad things through at the last minute. That's why we have McCarroll. We have Pontiac Youth Recreation 1,500 feet away from the old foundry in Pontiac. It's full of toxic dirt and dust, but it's the only place we could do it. Well, it's the only place because they didn't do their due diligence. They are backing into this with a community forum, and that's great. I intend to be there and give my opinions.
Okay. Well, I think Brett.
Yeah,
I think Brett. At the end of the day, first thing first, like you say, got to get the build. I think that's going to be the first thing and the best thing to do. Get the building, because that's a must in my opinion. Get the building,
but get it at a good market rate, not at a. What we do is we say this is the only place you can do something, which is tipping off your hand. You need to, in real estate, is a negotiation. It's not we're going to pay top dollar.
So what is your opinion of because what is it being on sale for? What is the price? I don't know. What is it?
I forget if it's 12 or 15 million. I can't.
Do you think that's too much? Or too little?
Yes, way too much.
What do you after all the upgrades that they've done in upkeep? I mean, you think 15 million, 12 to 15 million is too much?
I don't know that you would call it upgrades. I mean,
and all of that property. So you're thinking about all that property and all that building is not 12 million to 15 million.
No, I don't think so. I think that given the property values in Pontiac and what they currently are, and with the projection, you need to.
But
get
that's a commercial
reputable
space. But that's a commercial space.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm listening.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. But you need to get a responsible real estate person to do some assessments, and they haven't presented anything. They haven't said, well, this is the firm we're working with to do, like they're going to put all this money into a study as to why they should buy the building. It's just, they wait until like the deal should have already been brokered and then brought to the public as we can get this building for $8 million. Nobody else is going to come in and buy it. Lee's not sitting on a gold mine. He's sitting on a liability.
I don't know, man. And you know what, Brett? I don't disagree with you wholeheartedly. Now, you know what I'm saying. I agree with you on some points, but I don't know. You know what I mean? $12 to $15 million for that amount of property and the building. I can see if the building was in shambles and in dumps, it's already probably I'm looking at what they have probably already inside. I haven't been in there since Lee been in there, but I'm pretty sure they have they have fiber, they have all these new things in technology.
They have some new things, but it's also pretty trashed. I mean, I've been in once since Lee had it.
Okay.
And it was, they've trashed it a bit. They're not using the space. I don't think they're using 20% of the space.
Okay.
I've been in, and the second floor, classrooms and offices, the ceiling's falling in. The pool is a mud pit.
It's still that's still what you're saying. That's still not fixed. You're talking about the that part of the building is still not fixed, right where the pool. That's a safety hazard. You sure?
Well, it's only a safety hazard if it's open to the public.
Okay.
But you can have a private building and say, okay, this area we're not using, this area not. It's just that there are programs that take schools and turn them into new things. And I've been begging Pontiac to get involved with their nationally accredited, respected organizations that they took like Dearborn City Hall and turned it into artist lofts and housing. We need to also partner with experts in the field, not try to become experts. Our council is very inexperienced and they're not experts. We need people who are experts. I'm not saying, no, I don't want to go the consulting route and pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to consultants. That's not my point. My point is, where is a real model that we can refer to for acquiring this building and putting it to use?
I hear what you're saying. I hear your concerns, and they're valid. I can't dispute, or you know what I mean, because how you feel and look at this is a valid point for yourself and probably some other citizens. You know what I mean? Me personally, I'm concentrating on hopefully getting the building, because I believe it does need to be back in position. Well, I believe that the city should own that building. You know what I'm saying?
I absolutely
in that property.
Absolutely agree with you.
Yeah,
absolutely agree with you on that point. And maybe I'm too cheap. That I'm looking at it.
Well, I understand where you're coming from because I understand where you're coming from because ultimately the citizens paying for it, right?
My thought, I wish that if I had $50 that I could turn it into $150,000. That's sort of what the ratio we're talking here is. They bought that building for very little, and right. They painted it. They kept the lights up. The exterior lighting is good, and the place looks tidy. And that was a blessing to people like the historic district across the street. And they're all thrilled with that. They're not thrilled with the thought of having a DPW yard off Franklin Boulevard.
Yep. Well, you know what, Brett? I'm kind of like with you when it comes to like far as the cost of the building. Like I don't know. 12 to 15 might be really the rate, man, because I'm really kind of trying to look at
maybe.
It might be, man. Like I think you're right when you say you're a little too cheap. I get it. Try to see, but I don't want us or the city of Pontiac to miss out on because we try to play when you try to play those games like how we played with the Silver Dome with the Lions.
Oh yeah, $500,000 opening bid.
You play those games and you see what happened. You start low bidding and balling and playing games, and next thing you know, bam, you got an abandoned building sitting there for another 10 years. So it's like. Somebody will buy it and don't do nothing with it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I just want, I'm not saying overpay, because ultimately the citizens are paying for it. But at the same time, there's a lot, like you say, that can be used. That building can be used for a lot. My whole thing is get the building into your possession. Even, I've seen some people even say like a rec center can be used or put in there too.
It could be a satellite. It
could
could
be a
be a
lot of things.
satellite
Police
facility for the
station,
rec center.
a lot. Police station or the sheriff
Substation.
department, substation. And I think, you
Yep.
know what? Honestly, I think that building is going to be used for a lot of things, because it could be used for so many things at once.
Oh yeah.
And when you look at other
cities,
cities, they have a building. Some cities have buildings like that, and they just house a lot of different city functions.
activities in them. Sure. It could be the new look. It could be the library has outgrown its building. I mean, it could be
That's perfect.
The new
That's
library.
Perfect. Yeah.
It could be partial library. It could be a satellite school. It could be a food market. It could be a complex of interesting
Situation.
uses.
Yeah.
But they need to be compatible. But they need to be compatible with the local community. And I don't think that's what I'm just saying. The DPW yard, I think it's a no-go. Get the building, get Lee to give us his best officer and then have a bidding war, or whatever. I don't think there are other bidders for the building. I think we've painted ourselves into one of these situations where we are the only people interested in the building. I don't think there's anybody else. We can't get anybody to take Washington School. We can't get, there are buildings that are on the market that people are just not bidding on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're right about that. I mean, like Washington, you got plenty. But what I like about Pontiac Central's building, the way that it was built, is so different than Washington. And these are. Oh yeah. Those are built to be schools. It's like Pontiac Central was the way it was built in mind was like it just wasn't school oriented.
It's sort of a bunker. It was designed by a company that designed prisons.
Yeah.
So there were no interior windows in the classrooms.
Right.
I mean, it was a trip, man. It was a trip.
Mm-hmm.
That school, but it is a contemporary building.
Yeah,
and it has contemporary features that are, that aren't available in these other schools.
Right.
So I don't think it should be looked at in the same way.
Absolutely.
But my hope is they would have by now some dynamite real estate person who's able to go, here are the comps on the property. This is what it would cost here. They don't talk about that a DPW yard, you need a barn for vehicles, and you need some places for silos for salt and gravel. And then you need a small area for administrative offices. And I think we can build that cheaper somewhere else on land we already own, AKA Collier Road landfill, and put Central to better use. And I should shut up now because I go on and on.
Right. No, but you know what, Brett? I mean, I get your point. I got it, and I think you're valid in your thinking and your reasoning, man. I mean, nothing wrong with the way you're seeing it. But I think we do both agree on one point. Let's get the building. And I think the price. I think the price is kind of subjective. Honestly, I mean, we got to kind of look, like you said, get some professionals that really know the pricing, the comps. But what are you going to comp a building like that with? You see what I'm saying? Like there's nothing else around here to comp that with. The only thing that you can really comp that building with is probably United Wholesale across the street from United Wholesale, because those buildings are almost similar across from the main.
Yeah, very much so. You're right.
Those are your only comps, but those are out of scope as far as the air, the distance. So it's kind of like you can't comp it to anything, tell you the truth. And I used to be in real estate. So I kind of understand. Well, not kind of. I do understand how that goes. So it's hard to comp a building like that. And I'm just looking.
Well, I haven't done my due diligence or research on this.
Yeah.
But I'd like to know right now, what is it assessed for tax-wise?
Right. Yeah.
That'll tell the story of what the actual worth value of the building is. Starting off with hard facts, like it's.
Well, I'm pretty sure, Brett. I'm pretty sure that they're not going crazy with the price if the tax assessment doesn't substantiate that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I would hope so.
You would hope so, right? You would hope so.
But we've been proven wrong before.
Right. Well, hey, man, thanks, Brett. Thanks for calling in. Anytime I'm on, my platform is your platform. You can always call in. Hey, one day you can actually I can give you the link, and if you want to, you can pop on the show and actually be virtual with me on the screen if you want, man. But always feel free to call in, man.
I love what you do. I love what you do. You're a real Pontiac booster, and you're upping the game on this stuff with your video presentations.
Thanks,
so
man.
I really appreciate you, man.
Thanks,
okay?
Thanks
you
a lot,
have
brother.
a blessed night.
You too, brother.
Okay, bye now.
Bye-bye. That we had Brett, like he say, Brett Reynolds. That's a good call right there. Great call. I'm going to go ahead and hit the share button again. I'm going to go ahead and put the phone number up again. That was a great call and just great interaction. Like I say, I don't agree with Brett on every single thing, but I do understand where he's coming from, and I do agree. I like to concentrate on what we can agree on. You know what I mean? And number one is the Pontiac Central building is, you know what I'm saying, I believe a purchase that the city of Pontiac has to make. Got to make it. You got to make it. We can't, honestly, I don't feel like you should let this one slip through your hands. You got to get this, but we have to get this, the city of Pontiac has to get this property back, in my opinion. It's 248-905-1128. Ms. Melanie Rutherford, Councilwoman, District 1, called in earlier. We just had Brett, he say Brett Reynolds, but Brett Barker, he just called in and gave us his his summation on, his take on, that property. But if you guys didn't know, Lee Industries, which is the owners of the current or the old Pontiac Central building, they putting it up for sale. The city of Pontiac itself is interested in it. I'm an advocate for it to happen. I think so many things can happen with that building. The debate is what do you do with the building? What is the building going to be used for? I ain't really even worried about that right now. My main thing is get the building. It's so many things you can do with the building once you have it. Of course, have an idea why you're getting the building in the first place, because it'd be nonsensical to get it and don't know what the ideas are to use it for, use case. But my main thing is get the building, because once you get the building, then you stuff that, it's just different things you can do with it. And it's so huge. Brett did bring up a great point that I do think a library would be perfect, because I remember the old media center. And I don't know really how that media center looks right now. I'm going to show you guys really how the old media center looked. If there's a picture of it on Google. But the media center used to be full. Now, that's when it was more or less, the media center was the library. Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can pull this. I don't know. You guys might be able to see it. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. We're going to make it this one here. I want to share this, but I want to make sure you guys can see it. Boom. Matter of fact, exit this. I want to go ahead. I want to share the screen to show you guys what the media center looked like. And let me see. Boom. Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna take the phone. So if the building is able to be acquired, I think the Pontiac City Library can actually even go in there. It's so much that can happen. the space that was available in there, just a technology center, a media center. The parking is great. You know what I'm saying? There's so much you could do with that building. Let's see what we got as a comment real quickly. You worked in the media center, rebinding old books. I believe the media center is probably it'd be a great thing to do. You know what I mean? Bring in, you could do so much with that. I haven't been in the building since, I haven't been in the building since Lee Industries. I haven't been in that building, man. I don't know. Been a long time. But I did go to school there, but I really do think it's a great opportunity for the city to go ahead and acquire that. I'm really hoping that most of the council feels like it's a great opportunity to get that. And here's the reason, one of the reasons why I think it's a great thing, as far as my opinion. We've lost so much, and I think we really back on the rebuilding phase. A lot of things that's happening downtown. I know a lot of people got a lot of things to say about it, and they don't feel it's the right direction. But sometimes when you live in too long in the past, man, that's what you become. That you become the past. We got to look forward and look, people weren't happy about the Phoenix Center but hey, we are where we are right now. You know what I mean? And I believe that the Phoenix Center being demolished, being demoed, and opening it up to expand downtown, and what that actually is doing is giving opportunity for new businesses to sprout up. Oakland, some of Oakland, the people from Oakland, the county is coming down and being stationed downtown. I think that's a great thing. And I hear the negative talk. Oh, they don't want to come down. There's some people that do. You know what I mean? And sometimes a lot of little voices can outweigh the majority, just because the majority usually sometimes don't say much. Sometimes it's the little voices that's making the most noise. But I honestly think it's a good thing that's happening downtown, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like riding downtown or through downtown, and I don't see nothing happening. It's like a random Saturday. If nothing is planned, no festivals planned, if there's no parties planned or there's something going on, then there's no action down there. Where you go to other downtowns in the area, there ain't gotta be no festivals going on. It ain't gotta be no parties going on. It ain't gotta be an event going on. But you see people downtown just walking. They go to the restaurants, so they doing stuff. They hanging with family. It's a little chill, and that's what a downtown is. It don't always have to be a party or situation for something to happen. I'm tired of riding downtown or through downtown, and I don't see anything happen. So I am embracing what I see happening downtown. I'm looking forward to it. I'm just asking God to keep me going and rolling so I can be a part of it, the part that I can play in being a part of it, and seeing it, and it, just see it become something more than what it is at this point. You know what I mean? So I think I'm excited about it, and I know a lot of people are excited about it. But I know some people just, hey, yo, the Phoenix Center's coming down. It served its purpose. I remember seeing LL Cool J up there. I remember going to my first concert, seeing my brother perform up there. I remember my daddy making me and my sister walk from Rockwell, from the South Side, to the Phoenix Center as a little kid, and we going on top of the Phoenix Center picking up cans and bottles. That was what my pops made us do. And then he wouldn't even split the money. You know what I'm saying? But I remember, and all those were good times. And you can just go up on top of the Phoenix Center and just chill, and do it. But those days are over, and now a new opportunity is coming. So I'm up for it, and I'm up for, there's not a whole, but there's not a building like it's not a building like Pontiac Central's building. There's nothing else that. I think if Pontiac secured that building, there's so much that can happen positive. It could really be what's up? Hey, what's up, Jeter? It could be a city center. You know what I mean? It's Pontiac Central. You know what I mean? It could be a city center. And, people can come and congregate. There could be events there. There's so much space there. You know what I mean? Like, I went to Pontiac Central, so I could tell you how I've been all through that building. Either I was skipping, going to class, you know what I mean, or hiding, you know what I'm saying, doing something I ain't supposed to. I know about almost every crevice in that building. That building is so huge. You got 2 floors that's below grade and 2 floors above, 2 wings, you know what I mean? It's East Commons, West Commons. It is huge. And each commons of each side is identical to each other. You know what I'm saying? And then you have, of course, the field house. And then in between each common area of Pontiac Central Ohio was the media center, what I just showed. That was right there in the media or the medium. It was right in the middle that divided the east and the west part. You know, it's so much you can do with that building. It had the pool, of course. You had 2 pools. You had 2 pools. You had one Olympic size and one rec pool, and then you had a basketball. There's so much space down there. You know, so many spaces and areas and class. It is so much that can happen down there in that building. So much. I mean, you can have hey, look, I want to work in that building. I'm putting it out there. I want to work in that building. I ain't looking for no job, but the city of Pontiac acquired that. I don't mind. I'd be there and teach some classes for the kids. You know what I mean? You can have technology classes. What you say, smoking areas? Let me go ahead and put your comment up there. You can have classes or community classes down there. Here's a lot of things, right? It's so much space in that building. You can do so much with that space. Where there's a lot of things with the city of Pontiac, with the community, where they doing a lot of things for kids. You can cooking, sports. Not only that, technology, and it's a common. It's so much space there that it can be utilized. And then, even if it was, hey, Brett, I ain't even opposed if City Hall did move down there. That's how much space it is. It's a lot, man. It's a lot of space. And so I'm not opposed to it. You know, because if you do buy it for 12 million or 12 to 15 million, why not utilize it for every and anything that you want to use it for, especially if you got the capacity. And it's a lot of capacity. So my main thing is get the building, acquire Central at reasonable price, and be visionary in the way that you use it. Commercial, governmental, youth, recreation, education, even residential, appropriate to the local historic district and residential area. Absolutely. I'm not opposed to that, and I'm with you. You said, and don't forget there's a smoking area. Absolutely. The auditorium could be reactivated and be on par with Dearborn's. Absolutely, that could be too. Bro, I remember like some of the concerts you can have there with the stage. What was it called? As soon as you come in the side, it's basically right there. I forgot what you call that. The auditorium, more or less. The plays that you can have there, the arts that you can do there. Like I don't even know if that stuff is still there, and I don't know if Lee Industries have broken or tore all that down. I'm hoping they just cleaned it up and just left it untouched. You know what I mean? But it'd be a wonderful thing for, to acquire that building back, because there's so much that can. And then also, I'm going to tell you this too. This is the part that nobody else is really talking about. Yes, it's important to acquire that building. It's very important to acquire that building, in my opinion. Okay, you say it's not. And that's cool. Okay, that's cool. Even if it's not there. Okay, that's cool. It don't matter. Here's the other the reason, in my opinion, to have this building. because people don't recognize how much buildings really connect the community. When we as people that went to Central or residents or whatever the case may be, lost that building, it's like, and we ride past that building, our heart still wrench over that building like, yo, how did this happen? You know what I'm saying? And if that building is reacquired by the city, believe me, a lot of people that have had ties to Pontiac, that have moved on to do other things, they're going to come back because they're tied to the community through that building. All they seeing in their mind is Pontiac Central. They're not looking at it. They looking at it as, oh, I can, because I'm going to put it like this, and how wrong this might sound, and it doesn't sound wrong. A lot of people don't have connection to Pontiac High that went to Pontiac Central. They love Pontiac High and wanted to succeed, and they wanted this, but they don't have a connection. It's like the building is, and when the building is gone, a lot of times it's the symbolism, and a lot of people latch on to the symbolism of that building. So if we get that building back, a lot of people will actually probably volunteer and do a lot of stuff for the upkeep and the maintenance or the extracurricular activities that building might require, because they feel some type of connection to that building. You know what I mean? I feel, quite honestly, in my opinion, if, let's say, Pontiac Central never closed, I know I'd have been volunteering more at the schools because I had a connection to that school. I noticed a lot of people that went to Northern do a lot more volunteering at Pontiac High. People that went to Pontiac Northern, they do a lot more volunteering at Pontiac High because it's still there. You know what I'm saying? It's still there, quote unquote. It's not Pontiac Northern anymore. It's Pontiac High. But they volunteer more because they still have connection to that building, to that place, that space. And it's the same thing with this right here. If you acquire this building, and there's so much more, it's so much you can do with it. You know what I mean? Whatever you do, wind up doing, whatever the city wind up doing, I think the community, I think a lot of people that had connection are going to be involved with the making sure it's a success. You know what I'm saying? And I know I would, you know what I mean? Because I had good times there. I had, I changed my life there. You know what I mean? Good, bad, or indifferent, but I had good times there, and I love that. I love that space, quite honestly. So when I ride past it, I don't feel no bad, nothing. You know what I mean? So I wish, and I'm hoping that is acquired again, and we can move forward, building and making that space, active in a real positive way. And I think it's gonna happen. So I feel you, Brett, on some things that you were talking about. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I think we agree on one thing. Not one thing, maybe a couple, but I think we agree on the most important thing. Get this building acquired. For real. But yeah, y'all, I just wanted to come in tonight. I'm gonna open up the phone line if somebody want to call back. And I just want to give a shout out again. I want to give a shout out again to, the city of Pontiac did an awesome job downtown this past weekend. Pontiac know how to throw a party. Pontiac knows how to throw a party, that's for sure. And, everything was wonderful. I worked earlier that day. Came down and got some footage and things like that. It was a beautiful event. All the dignitaries showed up. Good vibes, good food, good atmosphere. Everybody just having the good times. I mean, even from the smallest kids to the cats my age to a little bit younger to the older generation. Cool cats was sitting back chilling, listening to the music, the jazz, and whatever was being played. Robin did a heck of a job coordinating. I think everybody did awesome, you know what I mean? And then I went on home, chilled out for a little bit, and I came back later and watched the fireworks. So I'm starting to, as I get older, y'all, I'm starting to appreciate things like that, you know, a lot more. And I'm noticing over the last year and a half or two, I've been a lot more involved than I have in the past. And that's important to me. You know what I mean? It's funny. I'm going to give y'all a little tidbit. I was sitting with my pops. This was a long time ago. My grandmother, her house was at on Rockwell Street. So me and my pops was sitting on the porch, and I was in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I'm gonna be the mayor. You like the mayor of what? I was like, the mayor of Pontiac. He like, you ain't gonna be no mayor of no Pontiac. He like, you can't. I was like, that's a hell of a thing to say to your son. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I used, you know what I mean? It's just, I wanted to be involved, but I didn't really see a big way that I could be involved as much as I wanted to be. And I started really getting involved around 4 to 5 years ago, more and more and more. But these last couple of years, I've been more involved, and I like being around, you know, I like being around City Hall. I like being around the people at City Hall. I like seeing the people coming in. I go in there, you know, and do some things as far as with Phil Brown. Like I say, big shout out to him. Do some things, you know, here and there with him, and you know, just helping out and doing what I can when I can, and having a good time doing it. And then also with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. T, they helping them with their podcast that they do every Saturday morning. They bringing in dignitaries from the city of Pontiac, and they talking news that's important to Pontiac, and in ways they can help and spread the word and awareness for Pontiac and things like that. And my whole thing was that, let me read your comment, Brett. I appreciate that. You said agreed. In other communities, it is not profit. Mayor, right? Mayor. In other communities, it is not for profit, would acquire the property and then partner with governmental entities to redevelop. Thanks again, Asante, for raising the bar of Pontiac Podcast Media Production and hashtag Pontiac Pride. Peace out. Yeah, that right there, Brett, you surmised it all for me, bro. My vision was to have Pontiac compete media-wise. And Phil is doing a great job. It's not an easy job to do, man. And but helping Pontiac in the way that I can and being a part of it has been a great experience. But my whole idea was to have Pontiac be better than Waterford, Auburn Hills, Clarkston, West Bloomfield, all these surrounding communities that surround Pontiac. I want Pontiac media to look better than theirs, because Pontiac is the heart of Oakland County. So it should be the best. It should be the best, hands down on everything. It should be the best. Now, I know ultimately that there's some deficiencies, and that's all right. You know what I'm saying? But I said, well, in my sector, I want, which is the, you know, media, technology, whatever, is I want Pontiac to look better than the surrounding communities. And I want them to look at Pontiac and say, what are we doing that we can be better and look like what Pontiac doing? That's what my whole thing was. And quite honestly, I could see with this building of acquiring Pontiac Central old building, which is Lee Industries at the present, is that put a media center in there. A media and technology, you know, it's so much you can do. So much you can do with that. So that's, you know, I'm gonna lobby for that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, have something in there that's the technology, the media, the film. You know what I'm saying? And have a great oh man, I don't even want to get into it tonight. But that's one of my things. So I just want to give a shout out to any and everybody. I just was coming on for a little bit tonight. I changed my setup again. I'm always changing my setup, y'all. Always changing my setup. I'm going to play y'all this, and I want y'all to go ahead, and I want y'all to, I want to give a shout out also because I haven't Miss Brenda Carter. I want to give a shout out to Miss Brenda Carter, doing an awesome job, always advocating and fighting for Pontiac. You know, even though she represents not only Pontiac, but she fights for it. You know what I mean? So, let me see here. I'm going to play the video. Oops, that's loud. So I'm gonna play this video real quick. This is for the mayoral debate. And see, y'all gotta forgive me right now because the power had went out and it wound up messing up my scenes on here. So let me take that off. Boom. I'm gonna exit that. I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen here. Boom. Boom.
Effigy Media Arts. Attend in person or watch live at Pontiac United YouTube channel or Effigy Media Arts
So I need y'all to
Facebook page. It's time.
listen and learn. Let's go ahead and start this all over, y'all. Make sure y'all tune in. Let's play this one more time.
Hosted by Pontiac United, the Pontiac Primary Mayoral Debate 25 in conjunction with Oakland Forward. With mayoral candidates
Gil Garrett, mayoral candidate Mark E. Holland Sr., mayoral candidate Mike McGinnis, mayoral candidate Alexandra T. Riley, mayoral candidate Dr. Deidre Waterman, and mayoral candidate Kermit Williams.
special moderators Ariel Fox and DeMar Bias, and none other than Sean Preston as our master of ceremonies. Saturday, June 28th, 2025, 3 p.m. to 5:45 p.m. at ATAP, broadcasted by Effigy Media Arts. Attend in person or watch live at Pontiac United YouTube channel or Effigy Media Arts Asante Lucas Facebook page. It's time.
Yeah. Make sure y'all go to ATAP not this Saturday, but the Saturday coming, the 25th. Make sure, you get out there, but if not, it will be broadcasted live on the Pontiac United YouTube, and it will be live stream also live on my Facebook page right here, right where you see me now. So it will be up. And then let me see, is there any other announcement out there to give you guys? I don't think so. Just thanks for participating, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to get on out of here, but we're going to get out of here on some music, man. We're going to get out of here on some music. Let me go ahead and put some music on. We're going to get out of here on some music. When the power went out, it threw off my whole hookup. I'm prepared. I'm always prepared. But we gonna get out of here. All right, y'all. Yeah, here we go. Thank y'all for popping in, showing up. Shout out to Tracy Hirsch, Pontiac United. Shout out. I'm just giving shout outs right now. Whoever come to mind. Shout out to Tracy Hirsch right now. Shout out to Regina and Dr. T. Regina Woodard. Let's give a shout out to Brett Give a big shout out to Brett. Eric Hathaway. Give a big shout out to Dollar Bill. Maurice Mahone. Big shout out to Regita Wins. Big shout out to Reggie Wins. Yes. Big shout out. Yes. Big shout out to Denise Harris. Big shout out to Delia. We giving big shout outs before the night. Damar Bias. We giving a big shout out to them. Jesse Brown. We giving a big shout out to Jesse Brown from the South Side. We giving a big shout out to Melanie Rutherford, District 1. Yes. Big shout out. Big shout out. We giving big shout outs right now. Big shout out to Gil Garrett. Big shout out to Mike McGinnis. I just know those two brothers. Been good to me. Yep. Robin C. Big shout out to Robin C. Tanisha Taylor Stevens. Big shout out. Yes. Big shout out to my boy Julius Gibb Tootie. Big shout out to Katrina Powell Faithful. Big shout out to Miss TD Lou. We giving shout outs real quickly. Yes. Hoping you all have a good night. So let's go ahead and give a couple of more shout outs. Ooh. Big shout out to Omar Finley, Yogi, Yolanda Shaw, Coffee Sane, Albert Brown. My boy Chris Donaldson from Ditmar Street. Big shout out via Mississippi right now. Macomb. Kenyatta Bowman. Shout out Anita. Semino Scott. Dr. Semino Scott. Coco Mulder. President Anisha D. Hanna. Big shout out to her. And all I can say is this, y'all. Yeah, I got to go out on something groovy. Big shout out to my nieces, Deja and Jasmine. Martell, Taylor One Films. Big shout out to my Aunt Darlis. Big shout out to my Aunt Darlis. Brandon Batchelor. Aunt Glorjean. Big shout out to Aunt Glorjean. Big shout out to Joss. And all I'm gonna say, y'all, is this. Big shout out to Effigy Media Arts. Big shout out to Effigy Media Arts. And with that being said, y'all, keep God first. Oh, shout out to Dejan. Big shout out to Dejan. He gonna be NFL. He gonna be NFL. I better say hi now. I better say hi now. He gonna get his money bag and he ain't gonna think about me. He ain't gonna think about the free haircut. The free haircut. I ain't say cuts, but yeah, no. Yeah. All right, y'all. Keep God first, family second, and you third. And in that order, you should never be made last because the last is made first. Tomorrow, I won't be on tomorrow. Might be doing some work. It ain't solidified yet. Friday, I'm going to be back Friday night, y'all. I'm going to come back. It might be raining, whatever. Come back. Saturday. Excuse me. Ooh, Saturday or Sunday. At one of those two, I'll be back too. So I'm Friday, maybe Saturday. One of them days, y'all, I'll be coming back. And don't forget to support Effigy Media Arts, man. The pod. You know what I mean? Trying to keep the things going up in there, y'all. With that being said, thank y'all so very, very much. I appreciate the oh, shout out to April. Shout out to Scoob. I want to just shout out those two. Thanks for watching tonight, man. Thanks for popping in. You know, I appreciate it. All right, with that being said, y'all have one love. Have a great night, and I will see you guys in the next couple of days. God willing. God willing. Stay safe. Peace.